following is a presentation of Real Wise Productions and Comey Media Incorporated. Can you stand the rain? Well, Las Vegas will be saying that next year. Why? That is next on Mentality. Welcome to another installment of Mentality, where iron sharpens iron in the realm of health, wealth, mental health, entrepreneurship, love, and brotherhood, all from a man's perspective. I am one of the co-hosts of this program, Cole Johnson, aka the Mad Scientist and EP Extraordinaire, and I am joined as always by the other co-host of this program, the man that is known as Mr. Wise All, Mr. Wise in the AM, and Mr. Petty, your boy, Wize, aka Wise El Jefe. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, brother. It's my favorite day of the week.
Michael Strahan, the former New York Giant great, he will not return to his gig on Good Morning America this week or next, after nearly 2 weeks being off air. Now, ABC spokesperson said to USA Today, quote, Michael Strahan will not be with us this week as he is dealing with some personal family matters. We appreciate everyone's thoughts and concerns. Close quote. Now, the 51-year-old has been absent from GMA ever since the latter part of October. And hopefully he will return soon. Now, my question to you, of course, you being a Giants fan, and I know you have an affinity for one Mr. Strahan. What are your thoughts in this time for Michael Strahan? If you have any words of encouragement at all.
Listen, my prayers are with him. I'm not gonna speculate on what's going on in his life. I just pray that everything works out for him in life. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Listen, Michael Strahan to me is one of the best guys in the business right now. Like, as far as his personality, what he stands for, what he does. Forget the fact that he's a Giants great. Besides that, he's done stuff off the field that merit us minding our business, and just all we can do is pray for him. That's all. Pray for him, and then hopefully everything works out for him. Like, it sucks not to have him on there, but people go through stuff, man. Life is not hard. Just because you're a celebrity, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Just because you're a celebrity
easy.
does not absolve you from life. It doesn't
It sure
absolve you
does
from
not.
life.
It
Life is gonna punch
certainly
you in the face regardless. Yeah, life is gonna punch you in the face regardless of whoever you are. It doesn't matter who you are. This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here to face these challenges and stuff. So my prayers out to Michael Strahan and if it's and his family and everything. Hopefully everything works out for the best, and he's back on TV doing what he does best.
Now, there is a member of what used to be called the Central Park Five. Now it's called the Exonerated Five. And a prominent figure that is huge in today's times called once for his execution. Now, one of those exonerated five, you said Salam, will be a member of the New York City Council. Now, he was exonerated for a 1989 attack on a jogger in Central Park, hence the Central Park 5 tag. He won an election this past week without opposition. He easily won a Democratic primary earlier in the year. Do you think Donald Trump owes an apology to the Central Park slash exonerated five?
Oh man, when we gonna let this go? Why we keep hashing up the past? Like we all know what the hell he said. We all know what he put out there. If you have not moved on from your life and you're still waiting for an apology, you're gonna be waiting a long time. So why go the rest of your life hating this man? Just move on. He's not. He's where he's at. You are where you're at. I'm sure he's moved on. He's done. Look at him. He's in politics now. So people are just trying. Listen, they're just trying to find anything right now to cause a divide in this country, and it's tiring. It's tiring. Like my man is on to bigger and better things. If
Yeah.
if waiting for Trump to apologize to him is holding him back, then that's a mistake. Like, but it looks like he doesn't care. He's moved on. Like
Mhm.
people, it's just people start creating stories out of anywhere, out of anything.
Anything.
Trump did what he did. That's who he is.
Mhm. And that's not going to change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not. And I've come to realize. Listen. Yeah, I've come to realize that I was hating on a man that was just being himself.
100, bro. Same here. That I came
That
to
was
the
just
same conclusion.
he's never been, and that's something I encourage people to like be yourself. And the fact
Mhm.
that he's himself and you know who he is, you gotta respect that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you don't care. You like him
Yeah.
or you hate him,
Hmm.
and I guess I could respect that.
Yeah. Yeah. I can too. Now that I've gotten older, I do. I
Yeah,
do respect
now
what he said.
now that I've gotten more and we've been doing the show more, and I've been watching more of his. Listen, it's sometimes you can't argue with what this man says.
Mm-mm. No, no. Doesn't, yeah, because it just doesn't mean anything. And to me, I think what I dislike about when people talk about this story, which now is next year will be 35 years and counting. And of course, you would know this better than me because you were living in New York when it happened.
Mhm.
Uh, it's as if we're asking for something that you know it's not going to happen, yet you forget
Bro,
that the life that he's living, don't talk about Yusuf Salam,
yeah,
forgiveness is the key to it all. And it looks like that's what he's done.
bro. The only people who are making this an issue is people who are making it political.
So you remember back in August, there was this wonderful black celebration event known as the Montgomery Riverfront Brawl. Well, one of the co-captains, the black one, he happens to now have been accused of misdemeanor assault by a white boater involved in said riverfront brawl. Now, the city of Montgomery has charged the co-captain of the Harriet II with third-degree assault. The complaint in this case was also swinging blows with the co-captain. My question to you, sir, is how should the courts rule in this case?
Oh man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Move on, man. Like
Mentality will return. What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wize El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wize El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Welcome back to Mentality, where it is the ultimate masculine safe space with Wize El Jefe. I am Cole Johnson. And it's time to really celebrate something really, really big and something really, really good. And what is that celebration? Well, welcome to Celebrity Style. Let's see. Is it really love? Is this the end? Candy Girl, Telephone Man, Cool It Now. Can You Stand the Rain? Oh my gosh, so many songs, and I just scratched the surface of them, and that is the center focus on this segment. New Edition, the band 40 years and then some, will be bringing their style of R&B and new jack swing and hip hop with a pop appeal to it to Las Vegas in 2024. So the Grammy nominated sextet, and yes, there's 6 members, not 5, announced this past Monday that New Edition Las Vegas will kick off at the end of February. The group confirmed 6 residency shows at the Wynn Las Vegas Encore Theater, where acts like Diana Ross, Duran Duran, Lionel Richie, and Brad Paisley have taken that particular stage. Some who have watched this show think that my partner hates New Edition. It is not the case. It is nothing further from the truth. Actually, he's one of the biggest fans of New Edition. What he dislikes is where they came from.
Okay, all right.
So I had to put that out
set the
there.
record straight because my brother masterfully cut that part out where I says I love New Edition, but so it makes it sound like I hate New Edition. I don't. I hate that's for the furthest thing. I love New Edition. I love Belle Biv DeVoe. I love Johnny Gill.
Same.
Off Bobby Brown too.
Yeah, I love them all
too.
too.
I'm a fan,
but
yeah. I am a New York Yankees fan, and so I just want to make sure that it's the city of Boston that really feels my wrath, and they just happen to be from Roxbury, which is a little part of Boston. So yeah, it's not nothing personal. I love New Edition, so
I know. So because I was being a brother for you, I had to put that out there as a disclaimer before we begin.
Okay.
So that people would not think Oh well, this is easy slam dunk. Why is he gonna go to town on New Edition since he hates him? Since he says F him, he's gonna go to town on him. No,
No,
it's because they reside from Boston.
yo, I'm a big,
But
I'm a
he
big
but he
fan.
loves
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
yes,
So how much of an honor is this for New Edition?
man. If I was going to Vegas during that time, I don't know. I would probably go see the show. Go
I
with the
would too.
wife.
I would too.
To me, I love their music.
hmm
It's either single or in
hmm
a group or the triplets. It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
just I love their music. It's their music is a part of my life. Like
hmm Yep.
it's I feel our generation is more like we're really in our music really played a part in our growing up
Oh yeah, of course it
and
did.
a
Yeah.
lot of all that. So for me, it's it's something that's this is when you've been this long in the industry,
Yeah.
you need to celebrate that
And they're
and
still going strong too, man.
listen, make that money, make that paper, baby,
Yeah.
make that paper.
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing. All these six brothers in their 50s and they're still doing it. And they're still doing it big. And I love them for it, man. I love all six of them. I salute all six
Because
of
we
them
gotta
for
say, like we think that when we're in our 20s and 30s, we hit our prime. Like this is our second, right? Like right now, this is our second win. This is our
it.
like this is like we take those lessons that we learned early in
hmm
life now and start really applying
hmm
to what we're doing and seeing a lot of success. Like I'm seeing a lot of our people generation very successful in what they do. Like
hmm Yeah.
and so to me it's an honor to see them continue
hmm
this legacy, but they're just getting better, man. They're just warming up.
They are. Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, man. Yeah. I think they are too. And the funny thing is, they have been there's been tales and stories of them being at odds with each other all throughout
That's
their
what
time
brothers
together.
do. That's what brothers
Well,
do. They fight.
well, I agree, but I really believe the last 3 4 years this has been the most cohesive they have ever been, and I think it ties into what you just said. All the lessons that you learn, the comfortability of who you are, and definitely we're talking about men, obviously. All the comfortability of who you are as your own man,
Mhm.
and the comfortability of you being around five other brothers who you know they have your best interests at heart, and you have theirs. It just lends itself to a better experience, possibly now than it was when they were hot. So,
Again, because it's maturity. Now
mhm,
you've gone and lived life and you've done the stupid and now you're like, man, these are my brothers. We're gonna
mhm,
put these great shows together, make this money,
mhm.
and go back to home to our families and do what we do.
What era of the group? And it could be all six of them. It could be when it was the five of them with Bobby, or five of them with Johnny, or any of the or Johnny solo, or Bobby solo, or Ralph solo. Which era of the group did you like the most, or do you like the most?
Man. See, I'm gonna go with the group that the group you didn't even really mention, man. I'm a big BBD guy.
Well, there you go.
I'm poison, and yeah,
I had a feeling you was gonna say BBD.
yeah,
Mhm.
nah, poison. That listen, because yeah, because I'm a hip
Thought
hop
it was
head.
me.
I'm a hip
Yeah,
hop head,
I
and
love
so
them.
yes,
Yeah,
and yes, they would rap once in a while
yeah. On New Edition songs.
on
Yeah,
New Edition, yes,
hmm
but Bell Biv DeVoe was different, man.
they were.
Bell Biv DeVoe was an infusion of everything that we was listening to. It,
hmm
it had that club thing element. It had the hip hop. It had the R&B element. It had a mixture of everything.
hmm
Their sound was like, whew,
Yeah,
and it wasn't, and it was street. It
it was
wasn't like,
very street.
yeah, it was street.
It's very
It
street.
was like, yo, I feel it's like
Mhm.
Poison. I feel that chick. I know that it's scandalous.
You know that girl. Mhm.
So it's So it's different. It was different. So I would say the Belle Biv DeVoe era for me was what I enjoyed the most. Even though I love all of them. I love when
Same.
they're all six together. But
Same. Yeah.
those three right there really.
Belle Biv DeVoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to say it's close with me. It's between them because yeah, man, when they first came out with Poison, it was to the point where they were so different. I totally forgot they were in New Edition at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, because it didn't sound like anything New Edition. And even when Bobby came out and when Johnny released his album, solo album, I was like, okay. And he said, I know Bobby then was a part of New Edition, but it sounded New Edition-ish with its own spin. Johnny, it sounded New Edition-ish with even his own spin. BBD, it did not sound like New Edition at all. And it threw me for a loop at first. And then when I was like, oh, that's right. These are the guys that people forget is in New Edition. But doggone, man, they should have done this sooner. I remember saying that. I remember being 16, 17, actually saying that.
Yeah, it was, to me, it was different, man. It was they got Teddy Riley to work with them. They got New Jack, they got hip hop, they got it was a different sound. You didn't really wasn't hearing it like that. It was like and then the video and then the flyness of it all. It was just, for me, was my favorite part.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. To me, it's between that one. It's between them, BBD, and probably Bobby Brown's second album, which of course was "Don't Be Cruel," and
that was a great album, though.
Yeah, it was a great album, and
I think that there's not a track you skip on that album,
right? So to me, it's really between those two. And it's like, dang, and of course, Don't Be Cruel, that of course came against, to me, the best New Edition album they ever put out, which was Any Heartbreak. And of course, for those who don't know, that's the album that has If It Isn't Love and Can You Stand the Rain on it.
The Any Heartbreak was one of my favorite albums, boy.
Yeah. So of course we first knew of them in coming out in 1983 singing Candy Girl, and of course we heard Ralph with the high-pitched voice singing and all the girls flocking to him, and you're looking at them, it's like, dang, they're not much older than me. And you look at their ages from then to now, you look for what they've done from then to now. What message, which is now 40 years and counting with them being in the public eye, and they, of course, formed probably about 4 or 5 years before that, does New Edition's togetherness send for brotherhood?
It just shows you brothers fight, and they can overcome whatever obstacles that they had in between them, and come back together and unite and make good music again and entertain the world and do what you're here to do, man. Your purpose. Listen, they've made an impact on a lot of teenage boys' lives and girls' lives.
Oh gosh, yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. They've entertained millions of people around the world. Just the fact that they've overcome, like I said, they've gone through their life lessons, overcome all the heartache and all the loss and everything. So for me, it's to see the maturity in them come out and perform, and it's inspiring. It shows you that brothers can fight and come back together and really make things happen.
Yeah. in 2 and 2. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central. Welcome back to Mentality, where men are men, and that's a wonderful thing. With Wize and Cole, I am Cole Johnson, and there was a debate that happened this past week, and it happened on Ron DeSantis' home soil in Florida, Miami to be exact. And what was unearthed from that, and who attended it? Well, welcome to Politically Speaking. When moderator Lester Holt opened the third Republican debate for the 2024 presidential nominations last Wednesday, he asked the candidates why they would be a better nominee than Donald Trump. And they were a little more willing than they've been before to attack the president. But besides that, former president. But besides that, the debate basically was, let me see, it was about a lot about foreign policy, of course, considering that we are dealing with issues with Ukraine and the Russian war and Hamas and Israel. Almost an hour of that debate was devoted to foreign policy. And then the first half of the second hour was dedicated to the economy and basically just straight up governance. And abortion and questions like that were posed in the last half hour of that debate. So my first question to you, sir, is do you think Ramaswamy was right in attacking Nikki Haley and the Republican National Committee?
Ramaswamy was attacking. Oh, listen, he has to attack Nikki Haley. Mm-hmm. She's the threat. She is the threat. Like nobody really likes Ron DeSantis. Nobody. Why do you think he didn't go after DeSantis? Because nobody likes Ron DeSantis. He might be number 2. He might be number 2 in the polls right now. But I think everybody would go and jump on the Nikki Haley bandwagon. So you have to attack her. You have to go after her. And I seen a little clip of him where he even went after one of the moderators.
He did.
I'll talk about, but what my issue with him was, they stole the election because of this. They stole. So now this is what you're doing. You're going the Donald Trump route. You're going to trying to now you're seeing that okay, there's a shot if I can steal his constituents, if I can start saying that yes, the election was stolen. So now you're coming with these baseless
Theories.
theories that you have.
Oh.
And now I'm not feeling you no more now. Like I was thinking, I thought you was for something, you stood for something, but now you see that you're trailing Nikki Haley.
Mhm.
So you have to attack her, and then you have to go jump on that theory that the license was stolen in 2016, 2020, whatever. We've been down this road before. You just seen this Tuesday what that rhetoric has brought you. Nothing but loss. You have the Republican National Party has looked like fools the last election cycles,
including this present one. Yeah,
just one that just passed on Tuesday.
Including this past one. Yeah,
they was getting they got that handed to them again because they are divided
on the ends and the phrase and the edges of the debate stage. On our left side was Chris Christie. On our right side was Tim Scott. Now, in anything they said this past week, did either of them do anything to sway your thoughts about possibly them or anybody else conceding?
They need to concede. Token Negro definitely needs to concede. Tim Scott, you have no shot. No shot. No shot, Tim Scott. None whatsoever. Stop it. Stop.
Just because he looks like the man in the Queeper Wheat Boss doesn't mean he's a token Negro, man.
Got me up.
No, he's a token Negro, man. Come on, please. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. We all know this. Stop. Like this.
He's right.
Let's not act like this isn't the truth. Well, let's not like act like they just said, "Hey, Tim, you just gotta run. You're not gonna win, but we need you to run. We need some diversity in there. You're not gonna win, true. Tim. Just know this." And he went in. He went in like a trooper, and he's like he understood. Now he's on the fringes, on the outside of the stage, like he's able to touch the curtains and like that to keep himself entertained.
Touch the curtains.
So give up, concede now, just stop. And to that fat, greasy, sandwich loving, bridge scandal having fat from New Jersey. Just concede, my man. Just concede. Governor, 0.8%. Even though you did not make the stage, why have you not conceded yet? The trader gave up. The trader's out. But yet I still haven't heard that Governor 0.8% has conceded.
Will this debate mark a resurgence for the governor of Florida?
Man, it won't mark a research for none of them. They all got slapped again, man. Let's come. We continue to have this discussion, right? There ain't nobody watched that debate. That debate was whack. They were more worried about what he was doing 30 miles away. This man is making a mockery of this party because he is just showing y'all I don't need to show up to none of y'all stupid and I still lead all of y'all. Like, when are y'all gonna realize that y'all suck? Yeah, all you candidates suck. Just quit. Just drop out. Drop out. Every single one of you. My man is going to court one day in New York, and then the next day he's in Hialeah, Florida, running a rally, and making a mockery of these debates.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Showing y'all that people are gonna come support me and not go check out your stupid debate. No one in the party likes any of y'all.
That's the biggest problem. Because what sucks is they believe in talking about the past and definitely talking about January 6th. They believe that, well, we're going to talk sense into the constituency, the voting block, our voting block, and understand this guy does not belong back in office because, well, the crap that you saw on the U.S. Capitol soil, he doesn't belong because he is not us. And the problem is, that is what they like about him.
That he's not one of y'all. That's what they like.
So the next debate will be December 6th on the campus of University of Alabama, or Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Should Donald Trump attend the next debate in Tuscaloosa?
No.
I 100% agree with you.
Later, we will have Thoughts from the Throne. This is Mentality. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Mentality, a place that is always for all men. With Wize and Cole, I am Cole Johnson. And there's something that is a disturbance in the brotherhood force that we have to discuss right here and right now. No, not between Wize and me. No, just in the nature of brotherhood in general. And what do I mean? Well, welcome to Brotherhood Goals. During a recent episode of Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast, former NFL wide receiver Brandon Marshall expressed his view that the breakup of the I Am Athlete show represented a substantial missed opportunity, one that he believed had the potential to impact not only his financial success, but also leave a lasting mark on his own legacy. Now, the I Am Athlete podcast was co-hosted by him, Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor, who now those two have bounced and now they are 2/3 of the Pivot. We'll talk about that show in a sec. It was launched in the pandemic, April of 2020, and the show delved into trending sports topics and addressed more profound societal issues between the men. So Marshall talked about he and his associates' initial podcast and the breakup gaining prominence, but things being not so kosher. On Bussin' with the Boys, the latter two that I mentioned, talked about how that initial investment was made with Brandon Marshall, and Fred Taylor said, quote, because Brandon made the initial investment, he took it upon himself to gain the majority of the control and the ideas. A lot of people's livelihoods are at stake, and I don't want to talk too much about it. We're not competing against them. We're just trying to give the people something to enjoy. Close quote. Now, along the way there, Marshall said that on the Funky Friday podcast that he is currently $12 million in arrears since the podcast inception, and that he disclosed that his partnership with his co-hosts felt like he received the short end of the stick while they profited. What do you think is Brandon Marshall's aim in making this podcast tour, man? Help me out with this.
He has to jump on their coattails. They hot right now. The Pivot is one of my favorite shows personally. It's a show that I check out frequently because of Channing and Fred and RC and the brotherhood that they have, and just to see three black men come together and build something that is totally amazing. They have athletes from all walks of life, not just football. Celebrities come on, so to see them and see the relationship and see how they're vulnerable. Fred, my condolences to him and his family. He just lost his grandmother, who's a major part of his life.
Yeah,
and I understand what he's going through because I'm going through something similar with my mom. So I can understand what he went through and then what his grandmother meant to him. So.
Which is a lot, yeah.
But you see this from them on the show. You see this vulnerability. You see them.
Yes, you do.
And so it's for me as a podcaster, seeing these men be able to be vulnerable and be themselves and show that, hey, yeah, we were professional athletes, but we're men. We're human. We have emotions. We have feelings. We go through our struggles. And to have someone that you thought was your brother, you come and you do a show together. And the thing is, I think the Pivot is way better than I Am Athlete. To me, I Am Athlete was a show that was driven by Brandon Marshall's ego. To me, like you would see, he's the one who's always yelling and always hype, and on the Pivot, you don't see that from any of them. You just see them together, like just having a great conversation. No one is bigger than the other one. It's just three brothers sitting down and putting together some amazing content. And I just didn't feel that on I Am Athlete. I just felt it was a show that Brandon Marshall is like, look at me, I'm the star.
Another one of the ex I Am Athlete members would be Chad Johnson, or Chad Ochocinco. He was a huge part of the show, and the two of them had a falling out. And now we're seeing him cook on Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe, aka Unc. And I'm liking that show too. Now, what do you think about Chad Johnson's success with Shannon Sharpe and Nightcap?
Because it just shows you that it wasn't Brandon Marshall. Like he wasn't the factor. He wasn't the it factor. Like you go see Chad Ochocinco with Unc doing their thing. And I enjoy watching their show too. I enjoy their chemistry. I enjoy the banter between the two, and they create great content. So you let you had a great talent, Ocho Cinco. You let that slip through your fingers. You see what Channing and Fred are doing with RC with the pivot. Like I said, it is one of my favorite shows to watch. And they're killing it. They're killing the game. They're amazing. Just the way they get to talk, and there's no one trying to outshine the other. It's just brothers coming together, creating amazing content, and there's no ego. This is something me and you always discuss. There is no ego between those three brothers.
None.
Whereas if you had, I'm shocked the two egos that did the interview in Brandon Marshall and Cam Newton could coexist in the same room.
Yeah, because they do lead with ego. Yeah, I agree with you there. And I also agree with you as to what I think makes the magic elixir, so to speak, or if you will. Thank you, Dusty Rhodes. In what I like about the pivot over what I did not like about I Am Athlete. Because the first time I laid eyes on the pivot, I said to myself, "Oh, okay, well, wait, that's Fred and that's Channing. Wait, I thought they were at I Am Athlete. Okay, well, let me see this." And I was so pleasantly surprised. What turned me off about I Am Athlete is what you described.
You know Channing is gonna be the comic relief. He's the funny one. Fred is the
he's the grounded one.
He's the glue. He's the grounded one. He's the humble one. You see that in Fred. And RC's just RC. He's just a very intelligent man that works hard at what he does, and you can see that he works hard at his craft and to develop himself into what he is now. It's amazing. Like, so
uber skilled.
Yeah, so for me, it really is. It's just a shining example of these three brothers can work together. Like, so it kind of gives hope for what we're doing. Like, we look at it and we can see that, hey, we can coexist. We can do. There's nothing. There's no again. We talk about this, but there is no ego. There's no. There's no. Oh, I'm the host. I'm the star of Smith. No, it's like listen. We both shine in our own way, and that's how I love to see them is see them shine. And everyone brings their own uniqueness to the show. It's not I am the man. No, we all bring our own uniqueness to the show, our own flavor. People are gonna like some things that I said. Some people are gonna like what Cole said. That's what's so great about the show is that we bring our own flavor, and people just tend to like the mixture of our flavors. Like we pause, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, you had no sense, man. That dude, like he did as a safety with the Steelers, that dude works so hard in being a moderator and an analyst, and he does a fantastic job at both roles.
Yep.
What bothers me the most about this whole thing, other than the fact that I think Brandon Marshall has proven himself to be an unfit brother in this case, was the fact that he decided to go in on Ryan Clark and call him, quote, corny, close quote.
All I have to say is if being corny gets you one of the top shows in YouTube, then I would love to be corny. I would love to be corny.
Sign me up.
They're doing something. They're doing amazing numbers. People are tuning in and watching their YouTube channel and their content and all that. The producer that they have, she's amazing. She also came from I Am Athlete.
That's right. Yep. I forgot about that. Alicia, I think is her name. Yeah.
So it just goes to show you, when you get rid of the element that's causing the negativity and causing all the stupidness and replace it with something that's much more positive, much more uplifting, someone who's more about teammates and building a team together and not about me. And you can see the difference. Look how the pivot has blossomed into something that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You still got two of the key elements from I Am Athlete. Three of them: the producer,
three.
Channing, and Fred. And now you add RC in there, someone who has no ego, who knows how to control the show and moderate the show and do what he does. Look at the outcome. And then you see, and then someone he replaced him with in Chad Ochocinco, he goes with Unk, and they're doing an amazing show that their numbers are growing daily.
Yes, they did. They're skyrocketing, and their show is new and it is skyrocketing.
Yeah, it's not like a month in, like whatever it is,
Right.
it's and it's taken off. So who's the one who the key element subtracted from all these things is Brandon Marshall.
And now, thoughts from the throne.
So, so actually, man, I want to again give my condolences to Fred Taylor and his family. He lost his grandmother, and she was battling like Alzheimer's and dementia. And like I said, I know the struggle him and his family are going through, because we're going to experience that with my mom right at the moment. And so take these moments that you have with your family and really appreciate them and cherish them and enjoy every moment that you have with your loved ones, because you don't never know what might happen, and they'll take away the person that you know. And so enjoy every moment you can with those you love. Try to, if you have a relationship that's really bad in your life, and it's someone you really truly love, and if you can really truly fix it and mend those fences, do. Because again, you never know when you're gone, and tomorrow's not promised to everyone. So definitely cherish every moment. Cherish every moment, and definitely just kiss those dear to you, and show them that you love them every day.
So we witnessed what Brandon Marshall has done with I Am Athlete, and we've seen what has happened with Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder and Chad Ochocinco, where they have gone on to different platforms and flourished while Brandon has not. And it goes to accountability. One of the biggest things as men that we have to undergo is accountability. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, and you have to be willing to say, man, I messed up. And it could be hard. It's been hard for me. But when accountability does not happen, you see how it looks. And then you look at that person that is not accountable to himself, and you wonder, what is wrong with this person? What is wrong with this picture? What is wrong with this person? He needs to have a comeuppance. He needs to have a come to Jesus meeting. He needs to be sobered up. Somehow, some way, it has to happen. And as a man, if you are not accountable to yourself and your family and your friends and your brothers, it will come back to bite you harder than you could ever imagine. So if you're in a position of leadership, if you are a father, if you are an older brother, heck, even if you're a younger brother, there's going to be times you're going to be leading something. Be accountable to it. Be accountable to the lessons, be accountable to the people who are entrusting you to lead the way. But most importantly, be accountable to yourself. Because the more accountable you are to yourself, the more people can rely on you. And those are thoughts from the throne. All right, sir. Anything for the mentality audience before we let them go?
Nope, I am good. It was yeah, it was a good episode. It's always a good episode, man. Like I said, but probably when I check out the replay on this, it'll probably be one of my favorites again. We just tend to have some great shows, man.
We do. We love you. Thank you for all of the comments that took place in our most recent episode, the one speaking on Arnold Schwarzenegger and Joe Manchin. We totally appreciate those comments. Keep them coming because we want to hear what you have to say, and we enjoy the dialogue because it's a dialogue.
Listen, yeah, we enjoy that job. Yeah, y'all enjoying the show. Keep subscribing, sharing. Let's get those numbers up, man, and we appreciate you all. We really do appreciate everything. We appreciate the comments, the likes, everything.
Yeah. And hit that notification bell so you can always catch any and all content that emanates from the Real Wize TV YouTube channel. And there's a lot of quality programming already on it, or the Coming Media YouTube channel. And there's quality content that's going to be coming on this channel too. Thank you again. For Wize Alefe, I am Cole Johnson, here to say in parting, as we always do, our secret technique is that we always speak with mentality. See you next week.
Peace.
That's 100.